insisting that the players stay back. Ronaldo goes through that routine again. 4 steps back. Maybe a bit of a let-off for Riyadh. The penalty saved. This might be the last kick of the first half. Ronaldo into that wall. Second shot into the wall as well. Neymar. The first half we've had. Can't take your eyes off this one.
Nearly 5 minutes of time added on as well at the end of this first half.
Yeah, with that penalty, I think that's justified. Abdul Hamid. Dangerous cross! It's off the post from Ronaldo. Danger not over! Ronaldo scored again! Would you believe it? The ball cannoning off the post, and Ronaldo showing he's still got that goal-scoring touch. Incredibly, at the King Fahd Stadium, it's PSG 2, Riyadh 2.
Well, he kept his eye on the ball, didn't he? Basically, in that was not allowing your head to drop after disappointment from a first failed attempt. The free kick first, then the rebound. Ball stayed there. He stayed in a dangerous position. That's why he scored so many goals over the years. Looks onside to me. It's a magnificent header off the post, and he's sharp as anything to get onto that rebound. It's not an easy finish either when that comes in. He's got to hoik that back from where it's coming. And, well, they have got 11 men against 10 of Paris Saint-Germain, so it shouldn't be too surprising that they have scored something. It's a cracking game, Andreas. This is a great warm-up, I think. This is not a runabout for Paris Saint-Germain. This is a proper test.
Anything but, and Ronaldo wants to prove that he's still got that goal-scoring instinct. He scored 2 already today, and that is it for the first half at the King Fahd Stadium in Riyadh. It's PSG 2, the Riyadh season 2 at half-time. So we've had 45 explosive minutes, and Ronaldo, with that bruise rapidly developing under his left eye. Let's hope he's okay for the weekend, because he's going to play his first league match there. Scored a penalty, scored again. Messi scored, Marquinhos scored, and PSG have missed a penalty.
Well, that's a half that had everything in it, isn't it? It really is. I mean, there was no gentle runabout. There was that's a proper game, taken very seriously by everybody, including the referee, who sent off Juan Bernat towards the end of that half. And well, hopefully the second half will bring us just as much incident and eventuality.
So a bit of musical entertainment for these fans. 2-2, a half-time score. Remember, if it stays like this, we will have a penalty shootout, but it doesn't look like it's going to stay like this. There's more goals to come, surely, for this young man and the rest of the fans in the capital. Good to see the fans so excited by this. Ronaldo with his first match in the capital. This is a team of Al Hilal and Al Nassr players up against Paris Saint-Germain, who are down to 10 in what's been a really competitive match at this super stadium. It's recently hosted the Spanish Super Cup final, won by Barcelona, in the Italian Super Cup. It's actually a multifunctional stadium for K-pop fans out there. BTS have played here, and plenty of music here. David Guetta has done a concert here as well, the French DJ. So it's a multi-purpose arena, and today it's seen quite a spectacle. Only 45 minutes gone as well. 2-2 between PSG and the Riyadh season team. So it was Messi against Ronaldo. PSG visiting the Riyadh season team, made up of players from Al Nassr and Al Hilal. Within 3 minutes, a goal for Lionel Messi. Just putting it past Al-Awais with ease. And at that stage, it looked like this might be easy for Paris Saint-Germain. It was a super start and a wonderful pass from Neymar. So the man who won the World Cup not too far from here in Qatar. The early smiles with Mbappe. But plenty of incident. This was Ronaldo trying his luck and well held by Keylor Navas. Two former Real Madrid men going head-to-head today. Ronaldo was ready to pounce here. That was given as a penalty. A foul against Keylor Navas, picked up a yellow. More importantly, the penalty given. Ronaldo getting a whack in the face. He picked himself up. Navas, brave attempt to get to it, but just too powerful. And that made it one apiece. It was in the 33rd minute. This was at half of a couple of penalties. More of that later. Ronaldo striking to make that one apiece. Up at the other end, Messi's corner, and look at this breakaway. It was good work from Al-Dasari, and here he was fouled by Juan Bernat, and Abdul Rahman Al-Jassim had absolutely no doubt at all. The red card coming out. The wry smile from the Spaniard. That challenge. The question was it a goal-scoring opportunity? The decision was yes, but even with 10 men, PSG creating a chance. Marquinhos and Ramos were both up. Marquinhos putting it away. 2-1. Couple of goals in the league so far, and PSG and Brazil captain would have enjoyed that. So that was with a couple of minutes left to play in the first half. And if we thought that was it for first half entertainment, well, think again. Plenty more to come. Neymar bearing down on goal, and after a VAR decision, that was given as a penalty. The foul by Al-Boulaye. Upstep Neymar for 3-1. No. A save from Al-Awais, Mohamed Al-Awais. And it got worse for Paris with Abdul Hamid. Look at that header off the post. Ramos couldn't quite clear it, and Ronaldo clearly enjoying that one. Smacking the ball in with his left foot. No offside given. And from 2-1 to nearly 3-1 to 2-2. The aerial view of Ronaldo's second goal of the 45 minutes.
Well, part of this evening, of course, is to encourage the next generation. And some of that is handing out some very, very treasured shirts with some of the superstars' signatures on it. Something that will be treasured from now on. See there, definitely the signature of Salam Al-Dassawi on the right-hand side. Argentina got a lot of support, actually, from the Qataris. Every time Argentina played a home game, well, I say every time they played a game, it felt like a home game, because 3/4 of the stadium seemed to be dressed in either sky blue and white, or at least carrying Argentina flags, and not least in the final against France, where the French supporters seemed to be rather outnumbered.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be in Qatar for the World Cup, and you're absolutely right. Argentine fans everywhere, with the famous blue and white shirts present on the metro in the streets. It really was quite something. If there are any official figures, but I think they're the most popular team in Qatar, and around this part of the world, Brazil very popular as well. Plenty of French fans as well.
Well, stay with us. We'll be back for the second half very soon.
Second half a few minutes away. It's the Riyadh season team against Paris Saint-Germain, and it's 2-2, an action-packed first half. We've had 2 penalties, 1 missed. Messi and Marquinhos scoring for the visitors, and 2 goals for Cristiano Ronaldo, 1 from the spot and 1 a real poacher's effort to get the ball past Navas and to make it 2-2 right before the end of that first half.
Well, Paris Saint-Germain have got plenty of important matches coming up in the near future, not the least of which is the beginning of the knockout rounds of the UEFA Champions League. Midway through February, Valentine's Day, would you believe? They start off against the Germans of Bayern Munich, with whom they've had a very, very strong recent history as Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern have only played 3 times, actually, since the end of the group stage. Paris Saint-Germain have played a few more times than that. Winter break for Paris Saint-Germain from November until the end of December, of course, when the World Cup was on. Both sides top of their domestic leagues. And Bayern Munich, the route to the top of the Bundesliga has not been a smooth one this season, with the interlopers of Freiburg and Union Berlin getting in their way. However, they progressed to the round of 16 of the DFB Pokal, the German version of the Coupe de France. Paris Saint-Germain have their Coupe de France match against 6th-tier opposition coming up on Monday. And then they have to get their minds back onto the Liga battle that seems to be developing a little bit more than Paris Saint-Germain would like against Lens. The gap not so great as it was. Lens, of course, beat Paris Saint-Germain recently as well. So that's gearing up to be an interesting fight for Christophe Galtier and his men. Unbeaten in their first 16 Ligue 1 games this term. They've lost 2 of their last 3 now, so Paris Saint-Germain need to get that sorted out as they head into the business end. Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League again, thanks to their 10th Ligue 1 title last season. Getting that title back after Lille stole it from them the season before that. And Saint-Etienne, ironically, when Paris Saint-Germain won that 10th title to equal Saint-Etienne, the Les Verts, the Greens, were relegated in the same season. And they're not exactly enjoying life in Ligue 2 either at the moment. Galtier's new side won 4 of their 6 Group H games, beating Juventus, Maccabi Haifa. Won twice against Benfica as well, who stole the top spot away from them on the very last day of the group stage with 5 goals in the last 30 minutes on match day 6. They're still top 6, the top spot away from them on away goals scored.
The Riyadh season team taking to the pitch, and the good news for their fans is that even with that bruise, Ronaldo is back. I wonder how long he'll play of the 90 minutes. He'll no doubt want to play the whole match. The magic sponge applied to that nasty-looking
not
bruise
that
under
magic,
the
to
eye.
be quite honest with you. It looks a nasty shiner.
It does, yeah. It looks like he's been in a boxing match. There's Gallardo.
He wasn't afraid to get into a bit of a tackle in his time.
No, super player he was. He was a creative midfield player, but you're right. He did get involved, got stuck into matches, and wonderful player at Monaco. He just had 1 year at PSG, which is a bit less successful, but still has good memories of Paris. I saw in an interview. And this is Kylian Mbappe, Paris born, of course, in Bondy, just outside of Paris, with Neymar, who looks in determined form. Now, the question is, do PSG bring on more defensive players? On the bench, they got Danilo Pereira, who can play, obviously, defensively, more of a natural defensive midfield player. Vitinha, but they're a bit short of defenders just because of injuries. There's no Mukiele, there's no Mendes here, there's no Kimpembe, as Ronaldo and Mbappe have a bit of a chat. I don't know what language. Mbappe speaks very good Spanish, you know. Maybe that's in Spanish or English. He's a real polyglot.
This is probably English,
Mbappe, yeah. Mbappe, for a young man who's never played outside of France, speaks 3 languages. And Ronaldo seeing the funny side of getting that whack from his old teammate Keylor Navas. I think that does make a difference. They know each other very well, and Navas is a great pro. And Ronaldo saying,
"That's not that much, is it? It's not big."
Mbappe saying, "No,
is that it?
I've seen worse." That's a great shot. That will be seen around the world. That's a great shot. 2 of the world's best players having a laugh at half time, but it's getting very serious as the second half gets ready to go. That Talisca on, who's an attacking midfield player for Riyadh, and as I suspected, Vitinha on as well. And
Danilo, well, he's a man who can tie up a midfield or indeed a defence, so it's a good one to bring on.
It's quite an attacking move. Al-Ghanam going off, playing on the right side of defence, and we've got two more attacking players with Talisca coming on. Ali Lajami coming on. They're two players who will be playing with Ronaldo this season. They're both Al Nassr players.
Yeah, reinforcements at the back and up front for the Riyadh selection.
Yeah, Lajami played defensively, and Talisca further up. He's an exciting attacking midfield player. Is Anderson Talisca, the Brazilian, 1.90 m, ex Benfica players, big guys, you can see. Brazil under 23 international.
Was in Chinese football before he came into the Saudi Arabian League with Al Nassr. Al Lajami actually is a Saudi Arabian international, but wasn't in the squad for the World Cup that's just passed.
How do you think this might play out in the second half? It's been very competitive, hasn't it, Angus?
Who knows? I mean, I didn't expect the first half to go the way it did. I mean, it was a first half that it felt like a knockout game, to be quite honest with you. It is. I can't imagine we're going to get quite as much action in the second half. I think that the fact that Paris Saint-Germain down to 10 men is going to make a difference the more we go into this. I mean, the last thing that Christophe Galtier wants is for his players to go back for tired at the end of this.
That's true. So I'm sure we'll see some subs, and Vitinha is on. It would have been fascinating to know what was said at half-time. And one lucky member of the public maybe did, because there was a VIP ticket which included a trip into the half-time dressing rooms. As Navas, I think,
corner.
Of the word corner. I think Navas thought that was just going to bounce out, and it didn't.
Well, there's a measure of just how quick that Salam Al-Dasawi is. Asia's best player. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He proved it in the World Cup with that performance against Argentina. I think after the euphoria of that win against the Argentines, they struggled to sort of get themselves back up again. It felt like a World Cup final for them.
So the first corner of this second half. It's swung in, and it's a save from Navas, and cleared eventually by Soler. It was a really good effort, and PSG in danger of going behind there.
Yeah, Martinez got between the defenders and a lovely downward head. It was a fantastic save.
The sub. Talisca thwarted that time.
Well, maybe we are going to get the same sort of half in the second half as we got in the first.
It was non-stop action, goals, red cards, missed penalties, scored penalties. We had it all. I think that is Danilo coming on. I think we actually saw him come on, but pretty sure the big Portuguese is on. So there's two Portuguese players on, Vitinha and Danilo.
Yeah, Ruiz has stayed on the left-back position and with the sending off in that first half, and Danilo is fitted in the right-back position.
Messi. Is Messi offside? Messi goes for the shot. Was that a handball?
That's outside the area, isn't it?
If that's
surely
a handball, that could be a red card, unless there was an offside before, in which case play would have already stopped.
I think there was a flag.
Meanwhile, at the other end,
Off we go again.
Ronaldo. You cannot take your eyes off this for a second. Martinez. Nearly comes to Ronaldo. But I think he might be a busy left-back. Soler. Ruiz, excuse me, is at left-back.
Yeah, it has to be said that Juan Bernat would have got that header. And been a lot shorter than Ruiz.
Indeed, he's going to get practice as a left-back, which is not really his first role. The shot just over. Sub Talisca, showing that he can hit a shot from distance.
Well, the Riyadh selection are after a scalp, aren't they, here? Blazing start from the home side, and Navas has shown his quality to make sure that it's still 2-2. Really drove that well, Talisca. Only just over the top. Brazilian looking to outshine the Brazilians on the Paris Saint-Germain side. He's got 11 goals already in the Saudi Arabian Professional League this season. Coming off the back of the 20 he scored last campaign. He's found a new lease of life in Saudi Arabia.
So Ruiz playing at left back, it looks like, for this second half. That might change. That's how it is for the moment. Danilo, composed, very versatile player. Didn't really play too much in defence until coming to PSG. Thomas Tuchel tried him out there. Played a few games in the Netherlands when he was playing in the Dutch league, but came as a defensive midfield player, but has proved very adequate in a back three.
It's a new one for him, though, being out at right back. He's played defensive midfielder, centre back and centre midfield, but not seen him so far being a full back.
No, that's adding to his armoury. What's going to be fascinating to see is, will those front three stay on for all or most of the match? I wonder. Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, because it's a long journey back to Paris. Martinez, a little bit overcooked maybe. It was kept in by Abdul Hamid, who's playing on the right.
Well, we did see the likes of Neymar and Mbappe and Achraf Hakimi rested. As you see, they've almost got a magnificent save by Navas. That really is. The ball it's a perfect header. Down at the ground. Navas having to get low really quickly and does the job beautifully.
Just getting a hand on it, but keeping it out, because it was a header with a bit of pace on it. So, superb work from Keylor Navas, who, as we said earlier, has played very little football this season, just in the cup. So, not easy to come in and pull off a save like that. That's what he did. Ruiz, Ramos. This is going to be very competitive. Second 45 minutes. There's no extra time. We'll go to pens. Neymar, brought down by Abdul Hamid, who's switched flanks.
Yeah, no doubt that was a free kick. Got him twice. There did Said Abdul Hamid.
Mbappe. Neymar. I wonder if Abdul Hamid's come to this side to face this man, Mbappe. Mbappe tries his luck, and that's a good save from Alois. That signature cut inside and shot, not far at all.
Well, you've got to show him down the line, haven't you, really? But Abdul Hamid there just anticipating the run down the flank, and it allowed Mbappe to step back in, and good goalkeeping keeps him out. I was going to say actually earlier that I would suspect maybe at the weekend or that we'll come back to that. They've taken the short corner.
Everything's going so quickly, you cannot take your eyes off it. Hakimi. Vitinha, the sub. Went to the World Cup for Portugal. Hakimi. Neymar. Mbappe up against Abdul Hamid. I think it's going to be a big battle in the second half. And, well, there's only one winner there. Mbappe. Still Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. 3-2. Brilliant work from Mbappe and Sergio Ramos. A warrior. Enjoyed that. And we are back to a PSG lead. It was brilliant work from Mbappe and Ramos, the tap-in, showing a centre-forwards instinct. 3-2.
Well, warrior turned poacher. Sergio Ramos, that's both centre-backs then on the score sheet. And we were saying how Abdul Hamid should have showed him down the line. Well, he did it here. He was terrified of him coming back inside, so Mbappe said, OK, I'll cut back either way. I'll keep on going to the byline. Perfect ball in. And, well, Mbappe himself would have been very proud of that anticipation by Sergio Ramos to put that ball in the back of the net. It's a lovely goal scored by Paris Saint-Germain.
But he would, and he's worked on that left foot, Kylian Mbappe, and very dangerous from that kind of position. Whatever the situation, Sergio Ramos is ultimate competitor, and they'll be delighted to get the third. It looked like an easy tap-in, but it was a good instinct. And his former teammate Ronaldo, no doubt, will say, look, you've got to keep aware. That's a player like that is able to score. 3-2. Plenty of time for more goals.
Well, Sergio Ramos has not scored in competitive action this season. It's a lovely ball.
That's a foul off from Hakimi.
Al Dassawi showing his class on that far side. It was a great first touch which allowed him to take on the Moroccan international fullback who just didn't get out of the way. Not that he should have to get out of the way, but he stepped into his man, and Al-Dasawi happy to take the free kick. And that expression from Ronaldo suggests that he feels this.
Pity Martinez is standing alongside the Portuguese.
1.90 m, Talisca. He's an imposing presence.
Yes. If Ronaldo might go for a crack himself, a hat-trick in the first hour, wouldn't put it past him. Ronaldo tries exactly that, so Ramos clears his lines. He hit one or two black shirts. PSG have something to defend with 10 men, but maybe the best form of defence is attack. Nicely done. Gustavo and Ramos diving in. Got the ball.
Lovely from Martinez. Ramos gets the former Marseille man back to his feet quickly. Look at this from Martinez. That's lovely. Real awareness of what was going on around him, and even tried to get the free kick out the back of it.
Yeah, super player. He won the Copa Libertadores twice with River Plate. Former Argentine international. Comes the corner and it's 3-3. The goals just keep coming, and it's Jang, the Korean centre-back. He just threw himself at the ball, and Ronaldo-like, it was a super header. It's another goal. It's 3-3 in Riyadh, and one of the more unlikely goal scorers of the evening. Jang, it's 3-3.
Well, just one goal for him in the league this season. It's a great ball in. Perfect near post run from the Korean. Got in front of his marker. That was the key to this. Little push from Ramos wasn't enough to put him off. Navas, no chance whatsoever from that kind of proximity. Good strength, and Paris Saint-Germain here continue to be given a game.
Just checking that indeed will be given. VAR will have a look at it, and a good header from Jang. As you say, used the pace of the corner just to guide it in. We are back at 3 each. What a game we've had. In the second half, Martinez has showed what a good player he is down the flanks for the Riyadh season team. PSG playing with 10, remember. They brought on Vitinha and Danilo for some fresh legs. Kylian Mbappe finds Neymar. I was asking whether the front three would stay on. They have done exactly that. Here is Messi. Vitinha. Renato Sanchez off. That's a half-time. Messi. Neymar doesn't have much space, doesn't need too much. Messi! What was that, a handball? Messi thought so, and I think a penalty's been given. Abdul Rahman Al Jassim, for the third time tonight, has awarded a penalty for that handball.
Well, it was very close, wasn't it? Al-Balai. Well, the trouble is for Al-Balai there is he's moving his hand down towards the ball, even though it was very close to him. He's protesting that he couldn't get out of the way, but well, of those that are that kind of penalty, you can see why the referee decided that one merited a spot kick.
Al-Balai gets a yellow for his trouble. Now it's going to be a change of penalty takers. That's quite a nice scene, isn't it? The referee just looking to calm down the centre-back. There's no language problems, Qatari and Saudi. He's just explaining, look, it's a penalty, that's the reason.
I think he's also saying that the VAR have checked it as well.
Yeah. You're absolutely right to point that out. VAR will check that, and if there's a change or a reasonable call to be made, he'll have another look at that. But I think VAR is quite happy with it. We do see those given these days. And after 1 hour of play, chance for maybe goal number 7. Kylian Mbappe. It's all about scoring penalties in this part of the world.
Listen to the atmosphere compared to the first penalty that was given.
Mbappe does the job. Otherwise beaten. There's another goal. 4-3 with 1 hour on the clock. And yet again, PSG have the lead. Does the world. Ronaldo disappointed, but in that particular battle, there was only going to be one winner, Kylian Mbappe.
Well, he missed the penalty earlier in the season against Montpellier, but has been back on target since then. No doubts there. Had a quick look at the goalkeeper. Just decided where he was going to put it. And unlike the previous penalty, Al Awas seemed to guess early. Ligue 1's top scorer. Well, he just can't stop scoring, can he, as more substitutions arrive.
Matheus Pereira, the Brazilian, coming on, as is Andre Carrillo, the Peruvian player. And also Mohamed Cano as well, so a whole clutch of subs. Off goes Ronaldo. What would you make of his performance?
I don't think he could have done much more, to be quite honest with you, in this game. It's a wonderful introduction to Saudi Arabian football. He's getting a standing ovation. It's not quite gone the way he wanted to in recent months. But a new life opening up for him here in Saudi Arabia. 2 goals, one of them a penalty, and some all-round respect from his new teammates and support staff. They'll be looking forward to him getting down to business in the Saudi Arabian Professional League.
Yep, his first competitive appearance on Sunday when Al Nassr host Al Ettifaq. That won't be at this stadium, that will be at their normal stadium, the University Stadium. And off goes Neymar. I think Messi's going to stay on for a bit longer.
Hugo Ekitike is going to come on.
Ekitike on.
Kylian Mbappe's coming off, I think.
It is. Trying to see some of the youngsters, and PSG have a brilliant clutch of youngsters coming through. Donnarumma coming on between the posts as well. Great ovation for Mbappe as well.
Well, I'm not 100% convinced that Neymar, Messi and Mbappe will probably start the cup match on Monday. I think it's important that they rest them. It's a nice moment between Gallardo and fellow Argentine Lionel Messi. Gallardo able to deliver his personal congratulations for that lifelong achievement. He wasn't even born when Diego Maradona lifted the World Cup in 1986.
So they've had 1 hour of play, that front three. Now it's up to Hugo Ekitike to lead the line.
He's been in good scoring form of late as well as Hugo Ekitike.
He has, yeah, scored against Châteauroux, against Angers, and against Lens as well. So in good form, the number 44. Actually asked to wear the 44 because, like his name, it's a palindrome, meaning it's the same backwards. If you're wondering why he's got the number 44. And look out for the number 33. Talking of palindromes, Warren Zaire-Emery, 16 years old, made his full debut at the weekend. Yes, you heard it right, 16 years old, playing for PSG. So it's 4-3, in case you lost count. For PSG. Zaire-Emery, 16 years old, made his full debut at the weekend. Yes, you heard it right, 16 years old, playing for PSG. Look out for Husni, he's another really good young player coming through. It's very difficult for these youngsters to break through into the first team.
Yeah, he's sat on the bench 4 times, hasn't he, so far in his Ligue 1 career. And it'll a little bit of a chance here. He's going to have, almost half an hour to impress.
And Garbi is on as well, in case you didn't see it.
He's a lovely player. I like him. Really impressed me when I've been commentating the Paris Saint-Germain youth team or the under-20s. I think he's got a very bright future.
Another Paris lad playing for his team today. It's a different kind of experience, this. He's probably not played in front of so many fans, exhibition or not. Here's Lajami. Lajami does well. Pembele is another sub, incidentally, playing at right back, coming thick and fast.
Yeah, back from his loan to Bordeaux. Trying to force his way into a defensive structure that has Sergio Ramos and Marquinhos, of course, as number one. Speaking of which, lovely move by Al-Dasawi.
Comes Cano, the sub. A lot of new players coming into what's been quite a frenetic match so far, so not easy for them. That foul against Pembele, indeed it was. You're absolutely right to say a lot of competition to come into this defence, but with these injuries, Pembele might play, this week in the Cup against Pays de Cassel, which is a small village team up in the north. There's Talisca, the sub. Defending for PSG, Danilo hits it wide. Talisca drives goalwards, and Donnarumma holds on.
Yeah, but there was a real slide in there by El Balai. He might have got something on this. Donnarumma would have been a little bit of sixes and sevens if he had, but he kept his eye on the ball, right into his arms.
A whole clutch of teenagers on. Husni among them. Let's see how they can do against this Riyadh season team. Zaire Emery as well. It's interesting to see how that youngster develops. And the youngest player ever to play a competitive match for PSG early this season. He did start at the weekend in a very difficult match too against Rennes.
First saw him at the beginning of the campaign when they were doing their Japan tour, and he came on and played alongside Marco Verratti and looked absolutely at home.
Here's Carrillo, the player I was mentioning, Peru. Bit of a lull after all those substitutes, which is understandable.
Team of players getting used to each other again.
Gustavo Altidal